Today we're going to play with our tools. We're not using our tools to fix something, we're using our tools to fix our tools. Anybody who's had a hose reel for quite a while, especially one that's not necessarily commercial grade, has run into a problem where you pull the hose all the way out and it clicks along fine, but when you reach a certain distance, all of a sudden it tries to reel itself back in. Well, mine started doing that, and I got a good look at it to see why it was doing it. And here's what I found. Looking inside, you see the little keyway that clicks. If you look at it carefully, it's become a bit rounded on the end. And that's the problem. So it'll work okay here when I've only got 4 or 5 feet of hose out. But when I get it extended somewhere near the end of its length, the angle changes just a little bit due to the tension in the spring, and all of a sudden that key starts slipping and reeling the hose back in on you. And of course, once it starts, it defeats the purpose of it, and it reels the entire hose back in on you, sometimes dragging your wrench along with it. So here's what we're going to do to fix that. See, looking inside on this, if that key were reversible, it'd be easy peasy. You take it out and reverse it, and then you would have a corner that's not rounded off. That's not the case here. So what we're going to do is take it partially off. First we'll let the tension off of it. There we go. And now, yeah, I know, using air tools to fix air tools, there's something wrong with that. We're going to take this nut off. Okay, we'll leave that there for a moment. And this is pretty easy. We're going to go on the other side and add a couple of washers, which will extend its reach into the machine. Okay, now that we have it apart, you can see that little tooth has taken quite a bit of beating over the years. So our choices are replace it or make it work. I love the idea of making it work, so that's what we're going to do. So we're going to add a couple of spacers right here. And lay it in here. Put our nut back on. And the hardest part of the whole thing, putting the spring back on. And once you have this together, your spring will hold it at the correct angle. And this is one of those springs that's really easy to take off and really tedious to put back on. Now that we've got that, we'll grab this screw from the bottom with our needle nose, thread it back in, hopefully on the first try. And there we go. Now if we look, it's sitting nice and square in the middle of everything. And it's sitting on the new meat on the tooth, so we should get another, I don't know, 5 years out of this thing. Okay, so let's run her out and see how she does. And it feels nice and solid. And that's at the very end where this thing was slipping to no end before. Let her go a little, test her in the middle, and it feels like it's hooking nice and tight. Yep, and there you have it. We've taken a hose reel and given it a couple more years of life.